Okay, part 4. I realized that I can ramble on a bit. Okay, but this is what I'm trying to get through to the new breeder out there. It doesn't work like clockwork. You watch these guys on YouTube that are producing a couple of thousand snakes a year, and they're pulling out their tubs and they're showing you the snake coiled around that beautiful big clutch of white eggs. That's what you picture in your head. That's what you think that's going to happen for you too, you know. Boom, you buy a couple of adults and you're all stoked, and bang, you go them and they're pairing up and they're locking and everything's great. And now you're sitting and you're waiting for that ovulation, and it's not coming. Oh, but they're locked up. But the ovulation's not coming. So I started watching, and I want to mention names. He's a UK breeder. He's very good. He did a. I don't want to mention his name. I actually want to send the guy a private message on his thing and say, "Is it okay? I've started a YouTube channel. I want to bring your name up," because I took a lot of valuable information from this guy. And in fact, his video was the video that kept me wanting to carry, or it kept me going, because I was ready to say, "Listen, screw this. I'm going to pack it in and sell all these damn snakes, because yeah, I'm not even getting one ovulation. I've got 8-9 females there that have locked up, and nothing's going to happen." So I was pissed off. I was mad. But I was banking on 4 months. And I sat down and I watched this guy's video about the whole breeding cycle of a female, from pairing up, ovulation, pre-ovulation shed, ovulation, pre-lay shed, eggs, taking the eggs, putting them in the incubator. That, from lockup to laying, or even to pre-lay shed ovulation, can take anywhere between 4 and 8 months. 4 and 8 months. A lot of people just think 4, 5, maybe 6. But it can take as long as up to 8 months. And that is what has happened to me. Okay? I was sitting after 4 months, 5 months, and I was going, it's not going to happen for me. And then I watched this guy's video and I was like, great, there's still hope. And one of the important things, and I think this has made a difference, I moved house. And where I was before, I didn't have a dedicated snake room. And the ambient temperature was the ambient temperature. I didn't have an air conditioner in the room to keeping the air at one constant temperature. All I had was the hotspot on the inside the tubs, inside the racks. Set properly, 31.5, 32 degrees Celsius, between 88 and 89 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't want to do the whole Fahrenheit thing because I'm not from the UK, I'm not from the USA. So when I talk, I'm South African, I'm talking my home language, I'm talking the metric system and how we measure things and calculate things. So I'm going to be talking centimeters, liters, meters, and Celsius, not quarts, Fahrenheit, yards, feet, or whatever. Okay. So I realized that was going to take me up to 8 months, and I moved into a new house, and this room here, which you see, please excuse the curtain because these curtains came with the house, so it's not my style of curtain. But I dedicated a snake room and I put in an air conditioner. Right there, boom. Set at 26 degrees Celsius. Alright. So, whoop, sorry about that. Still new to this. So now I've got a constant ambient temperature running around this room at 26 degrees Celsius. All my hotspots are set. Different racks, you have to set the thermostat differently because you've got to check the temperature with your trusty old heat gun over here. You know, don't just go for what it says over there, because I promise you right now, you'll look at that temperature, you'll bang your heat gun under there, and there'll be a difference. This is what you rely on. This is what you check, and 2 to 3 times a day. As I wake up in the morning, I walk into this room, I check every single tub. I do 3 temperature checks at the back of each tub, and 3 in the front. So I see what the hotspot is at the back and the hotspot is at the tub. Every single tub, 3 different places. At the back, side, middle, side, and the front, side, middle, side. And I go through every single rack in the room because you never know if a thermostat's going to break or not. And the thermostat breaks, the temperature just rises and rises and rises, and the snakes go crazy. And the only way you can tell what the temperature is with this heat gun. So get one of these. Now I moved into this place. I've got the temperature running. I've been here going on 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks now, and I have seen. I thought I would be lucky. I've already had one clutch of eggs, but that female ovulated and went into a pre-lay shed in my old place, and I thought, well, that's it. That's the only female that's going to give me eggs. She laid last week. She laid 1 egg on Monday, and she laid the other 3 on Friday last week. Unfortunately, the first egg she laid it and she pushed it out. It wasn't a slug. Put it in an incubator in a tub. Then the other 4 days later on a Friday, I woke up in the morning, it came through. She was laying the rest. She popped out another 3. She's a small girl. She only gave me 4 eggs. She's a proven breeder. I grabbed those eggs, candled them, put them in the egg tub with the other egg. Today, when I opened up the egg tub to change the press and seal, I smelled something, and it wasn't great. And the first egg that was laid was discolored, a little bit of mold on it and so on, and I knew it was going bad. So what I've done is I've taken that egg out, I've put it in its own egg tub, and I've got the other 3 eggs by itself. However, I'm going a bit off topic. What happened is, since I've moved into a new house, I'm in a snake room that's got a constant temperature and everything stays the same, a whole bunch of my other females that locked up all of a sudden are just going wild. 2 of them that hadn't eaten at all are just smashing food, like 2 rats at a time. One girl hadn't eaten in 4 months. She started eating. Another one started eating. Now these are girls that had locked up, but I hadn't seen any kind. They weren't losing size, but they weren't really growing. So they weren't building follicles. So next one, a couple of these things just started smashing. A couple of them just started getting bigger. Ones that hadn't been eating for a while, that used to be good eaters, all of a sudden now I can literally every day I walk in and I see something bigger. Now they're going into blue. Now if you have a look down there, you see those tubs there those are all my breeding females. I've got a couple in there, but those are the big ones. Those are the big girls inside there. There's 8 tubs there, but those 5 contain 5 really, really big, good girls. That should give me, sorry about the hand. That girl there hadn't eaten. She had a stuck shed and she had one over her eye cap. And I did everything. I soaked her, I did everything. She wouldn't take a meal in 4 months, nothing. She charred 2 rats the other day, and 3 days later another 2 rats. I got a male, and then she's locking up like a champion. So I know she's going to go for me. All the others are pink bellies, gone into blue. So what I think, in my limited experience and time in dealing with ball pythons, and before I put this on YouTube, I did phone my friend who's a breeder, and I said, this is my theory. They're all going into blue, they're all going into shed. I think this is not a pre-lay shed, this is a pre-ovulation shed. They're growing, their follicles are built, they're gonna ovulate. That skin is tight on them, they're gonna shed. It's exactly what happened with the female that gave me. She shed, then she ovulated, then she had a pre-lay shed. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of girls here that are going 8 months later. Okay, so that for me, that's changed my attitude. It's given me a bit of hope. So I'm telling all the new guys out there, if your snake hasn't ovulated in 4 or 5 months, please don't panic, because it can take up to 8 months. Another thing is, if she's not going to go, she's not going to go. If she went last year and she was with somebody else and she gave that other guy eggs and she went late, chances are she's not going to go for you. A lot of these guys they never sell their best breeders. But, you know, sometimes if you mates with the guy and he wants to see you do well, like my mate, a friend of mine, he sold me girls he probably wouldn't sell to anybody else. And he certainly sold me males, really, really high-end males he wouldn't sell to anybody else. Because he's a friend of mine, he wants to see me, you know, do well. That's what mates do, they look after each other. And of course, he kept all the best of the holdbacks. And but so I've got snakes now that are probably going to give me eggs in February, March, April, and even May next year. Okay, which is actually when they should, May next year is when they should start locking up again. That's how late it's going to be for me. So it's just one of those things that happen. Okay, but the main thing is that from thinking maybe I'm going to get 2 or 3 girls out of the 9, I'm probably going to get 6, maybe 7. Okay, that are going to give me clutches. I don't care if it's in 3 months' time. I don't care if they only ovulate in the next 2-3 weeks and lay me eggs. And in 2 months' time, I only get those eggs in maybe February, March, whatever. I don't care, just as long as they're healthy and as long as I can get them. And then obviously, if that's the case, those girls will probably be out of the cycle the rotation, pulled from the rotation next year. But I've got a couple of sub-adults in there that are in those 10 litre tubs over there, and there's 26 litre tubs over here that are too small to go this year. They're definitely going to go next year. Anyway, so that's a good thing. Patience, consistency, change your water often, especially put your finger in, and if you can feel that sliminess, change that water. That's going to make the snake sick. Offering food for the new guys. This is a mistake that I made, and maybe it's not even touched on. You offer the snake food, you want it to eat so bad in the beginning, you really do. You offer it food, it doesn't take. The next day you come and offer it another rat, it doesn't take. The next day you offer another rat. Biggest mistake you can ever make. Offer that snake, if it doesn't take, leave it for a week. Minimum 7 days. Offer it again. If it doesn't take, leave it for 7 days. Offer it every week, okay? I even went so far as to wait 2 weeks. If a snake refused twice, 7 days apart, so 7 days and then 14 days, I was like, okay, right, no problem. I'm not going to offer you in 7 days time again. I'm going to make you wait 14 days. Boom, 9 times out of 10 I would say. I have got a snake here that I had for 5 months. From the day I brought her home, didn't touch a meal. I did everything right. I never touched her. When I cleaned a tub, I put it into a holding tub, cleaned the tub, put it back in, closed it, didn't handle it, nothing. She would not take a meal. One day, I just consistently, and I just started offering her every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. One time I was like, just put her rats in there, and she hit it. Just like that. Now she's feeding consistently. It's just one of those things that happen. So, these guys can't talk, so they can't tell you, I'm hungry now, I'm not going to eat. And they can't tell you, I'm not eating, and this is the reason why I'm not eating. And that freaks us out when we don't know why our snake's not eating. Is it sick? It's breeding season. Fuck, she's not going to be big enough. She's not going to have enough weight on her. What are we going to do? I've spent so much money. Fuck yeah, it happens. And it sucks, right? Because I promise you, there's nothing worse. I lie in bed at night, I'm staring at the ceiling, I'm going, what the fuck? I took my savings, I cashed out some policies to put into this breeding thing. It's of course, I mean, any business venture, it's a certain amount of risk, especially when it's animals, it's livestock. You wake up tomorrow morning and open up a tub, one of the snakes are dead. I've got a mate, he lost 2 snakes in the space of 2 weeks, and they were high end. And I'm going to tell you, his facility is meticulous, it is clean, everything is done right, and they were high end, valuable boys. And he just opened up the tub, boom, and they were dead. I mean, it's gut wrenching, but it's livestock. It happens. You don't know what's going on inside. Humans can drop dead of a heart attack, So. Anyway, I guess I don't want to do a part 5, but there's a part 4. I'm going to wrap it up. North Coast constrictors, new breeder, trying to communicate with other new breeders to say shit happens when you start out in this thing. Okay, I've now got to the point where it's starting to become water off a duck's back. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. These animals, if they're going to eat, they're going to eat. If they're going to lock up, they're going to lock up. If they're going to give you healthy eggs, there's only so much that you can do as a breeder and a person. Just keep everything clean, clean your tubs, keep your snakes healthy, keep them with fresh water, keep your temperatures right, okay? I don't want to go into the whole temperature thing and what's the best temperature and what's the wrong temperature, because everyone's got their own different opinions. But I set my hotspots at 31.5, 32 degrees Celsius tops, and then the front of my tubs is about 5-6 degrees lower than that on the cold spot. That's me, okay? Anyway, guys, it's getting late now. It's Sunday, so I want to wrap this up. What I would like to say is, I hope I can build up a bit of a following. I'm a very straight shooter when it comes to anything that I do in life. So I'm not just going to post on YouTube videos about the successes and every time. There's a couple of guys out there that the only thing that they post is how much money they're making and they're with this world's first and that, and he's just done this and he's made this amount of money and it's $250,000 clutch of eggs, and you got old Joe Sopio who's hatched laid 4 eggs and one I got to throw away. It kind of can be a bit disheartening, and you think, oh shit, big mouth. I'm gonna post the good stuff, and for me as a new breeder, you must understand that for the big stuff for me is going to be small stuff for the guy that's been doing this for 10 years, but it's going to be big stuff for the new guy. Like, I'm targeting guys like me for now, and as I grow and as I learn more about these ball pythons, learn more about breeding, genetics. Even now, you can see I'm clueless. If I go pull out a snake, I have to read the label on the tub. I know some of my snakes offhand or whatever, but they're not the ones that have got 5-6 genes in them, like the ones that have got 2 or 3 genes. Some of my favorites, like Maverick, my Ivory genetics drop. And before I end, I just want to show, I love this boy. This is my man right here. This is an Ivory genetics stripe. This snake and Comet, who you saw in the beginning on my part 1, the fire clown. But this guy here, he is just probably, he had a bit of an infection on his mouth. I think he'd been rubbing on his top lip over here, just there. He'd been rubbing on his tub and it got infected and it got swollen. I had him by the neck. I'd opened up his mouth. I was putting iodine. I was cleaning it. This boy just handled it like an absolute champ. He didn't even hiss, not even once. And I got a soft spot in my heart for this guy. He's a real beaut. He's still got a little bit of a swelling there. It's a little bit pinkish, but it's going away. And that's the thing. Don't just do it for the money. Of course money's a part of it. You want to at least break even and enjoy your hobby, and even better, you might make some money on some on the side. If you're a full-time businessman like me and you can do this and sell snakes and have extra cash, that's great. And then I want to be a little bit bigger than that. Like maybe even to the point where if when I retire and I'm 46 years old, who knows, when I retire in a couple of years time and I can do this and just sell snakes and make enough money just to do that. But after I've made my money in the real world, who knows where this journey is going to take me, who knows what I'm going to do with ball pythons. But like now, when it's not just about the money, I pull out this boy and I hold him, and I just want to go chill with him. I jump into bed and crawl around my neck and park off and stuff like that, because and don't let anybody tell you that snakes are all the same and they all just want to chow you or whatever. Let me tell you something. Every single snake has got a personality. I've got loving snakes that are affectionate, and I've got snakes that want to take my fingers off every time I open the tub. So yeah, you got to have a passion for it. You got to really enjoy what you do. You got to love these animals. You got to like them. You got, I mean, as I say, it's not just enough to like them. You got to love them. You got to, you know, like my dad. He won't even come in this room. You know, my dad doesn't live here, obviously, but I mean, like when he comes to visit, and I want to show him my snake, he'll stand at the door and watch from 5 meters away. He still can't work out to this day why I can pick up this snake and I can pet it like as if it was a dog, you know. But I think it's just a difference between, you know, reptile breeders and whatnot, and other people. You know, we can look at something like this being given such a bad rap. I mean, some they're the most incredible animals, I think. So anyway, guys, that's from me, over and out, and from Maverick. Thanks for watching me ramble on in 4 parts about this whole ball python thing. Carl from North Coast Constrictors. Give us a like, subscribe if you want, you know, and we're on Instagram, North Coast Constrictors. We're on Facebook as well. And yeah, I look forward to, I hope you're part of this journey with me. Take care. Cheers.